Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is devoted to trying to see what the effect will be on Donald John Trump with the full moon that we have coming up on October 31st. So I am using the Lenormand and the tarot, and it'll be partly health, but any other effects I'll see. And I also have the Kipper deck shuffled just in case I need to use it. And I also have his astrological birth map close by, and I have lots of notes about that. So I might bring that in, but for now I don't want to bring in too many images because it gets confusing. Okay, so with the Lenormand, okay, the health of his body, his challenges, his emotional body, mental body, karma that's hanging over him, what he'll be doing that day, and his future. Because we have to remember this full moon in Taurus is conjunct Uranus. So I'll dive into that more as we go forward. Okay, so tarot, we have health of his body, his challenges, his emotional body, mental body, karma, destiny that's hanging over him, what he'll be doing, and his future. Okay, so with the tarot, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So on a health level, she brings in the element of, needing to take care of yourself. This can be a woman that's enabling to him. That's very possible. But, it's practical, it's motherly, it's down to earth, and it's most of all security. So maybe there has actually been a recovery for him from COVID. I don't know. We'll see as we keep going further. And this may also be a woman in his life, and maybe somebody who's been a financial donor or still is. That's interesting that's there. Okay, so his challenges with the Four of Wands reversed, well, that brings in the element of some breakdown. It's a big breakdown in his support system because it's a 4. A breakdown in communication. Yeah, wow. So maybe it's the breakdown, because it's challenging, of course, the health of his body. So maybe there's a breakdown with Melania, communicating with her. That's very possible, because I know they're not doing well. But it's also, when it's reversed, it's really challenging, when it comes to a health issue, because it has to do with like using others and projecting your own self-hatred onto others. So, he's done that all his life. So that makes sense that this would come through. But this is truly in relationship to some woman in his life, or it could be all the women who have supported him in the past, either financially or on, very practical means. Okay, so his emotional body with the King of Wands reversed, yikes. That puts him in that place of strokes, temper tantrums, being power hungry, being impulsive, being ruthless, like having really high expectations. And, because this dude knows what he wants, right? And when he doesn't get it, he has an emotional reaction. And he's of the will type where he's kind of like a will emotion type where he will just throw fits. He really doesn't have the high reasoning abilities that, you know, a president should have or any politician should have. He just knows what he wants and he wants it now. And when he doesn't get it, he'll use any means. He'll use his will, he'll use his emotional manipulation, he'll use, you know, he will act out to get what he wants. So that's what's going on that day. On a lymphatic system issue or area, it could have to do with being too hot. And he just blows out a lot of hot air. And here we go with the mental nervous system, the Page of Wands reversed. So that hot air is coming from a very, very immature place. Very immature place. So this goes with, you know, all that fire energy he has natally in his chart. You know, he has his moon conjunct his south node in Sag. He has a Leo ascendant. His Mars is in Leo. His Pluto's in Leo. It's a lot of fire. And then, of course, he has that stellium of, you know, air. He's at the north node and Uranus, you know, he's got like the north node in the middle and then Uranus is on one side and the sun's on the other. So there's like all this Gemini-like speaking constantly. And he's having his nodal return, which means, you know, it happens every like 18 to 19 years. And it should be, you know, coming home to yourself in some new way, in a big way, you know, every time that happens for us. But for him, I think it's going to bring him right back to all his accrued karma. So, yeah, okay. His karma hanging over him with the Queen of Swords. This is some female attorney, possibly. This could be, because I'm trying to feel into all the ways it could be besides just his health. On a health level, it has to do with you know, imbalances that are chronic because they haven't cleared out and they haven't found their way through. But this is I get the feeling that this is some professional woman who's very perceptive and has been watching him for a very long time. And she's got something on him. So we'll keep going and see what that is. And then wait, did I give justice to the Page of Wands reversed? Let me feel into that. Well, you know, when it's straight up, you have some new focus or some new idea or something that you want that you're going after. When it's reversed, it's not going to happen. There's some setback there. Now, all the pages can bring in news, so this could be some news that comes in that sets him back, and it could have to do with her, whoever this is. If this isn't a woman, it's you know, something legal. It doesn't necessarily have to be a woman. So, this, you know, this little guy reversed is also a bully. I get that feeling it's a bully, and especially because he gets bad news. He's very pessimistic, and you know, there's no good direction. It's just not going anywhere. It's like going in the wrong direction. So, okay, so, but on a health level, though, it can be because, you know, we're in the wands, so fire, so it can be burnout and exhaustion. Could also possibly be a fever, you know, being of the wands. Yeah. Could also be like him wanting to take a little more of a risk than he should be, which, you know, that's how he operates. Okay, so what he's doing with the Page of Swords, I don't know if he's going to get away and go golfing on the full moon. He might. I mean, it is on a Saturday. Maybe he does want a break from traveling, or maybe, after doing a rally or something, he goes and golfs. That's very possible that he just goes and golfs. But on another level, too, it has everything to do with being really, really mentally restless and energetic. And it can have to do with accidents, too. And on a health level, it can be a circulatory issue. Okay, so his future, based on this full moon, what effect this full moon has on him, with the Two of Pentacles reversed, again, there's those swollen joints. There's this insatiable need for external validation. This is really disorganized, especially financially. It's like not being able to balance your accounts, not being able to keep all the splates, all the plates spinning. And then because of the fact that the cash flow going in and out is really messed up, that's going to cause some problems on down the line. So okay, so let's and it could also be a head cold too, because your head's upside down there, so it could be like full of fluid. Okay, let's do the Lenormand. Okay, so with the health of his body here, if someone is taking care of him, she's not trustworthy. Wow. This little card is the assassin of the Lenormand. Because he goes into he or she, whatever. I mean, foxes have to survive. That's all that's about. But they go into the hen house and they take him out. Okay, his challenge is with the clouds, and the dark side is towards this woman, if it is a woman. If it's not a woman, it could be someone in the healthcare profession. And the dark side's there, and so this could be the wrong way to take care of him, the wrong way to, these doctors they've been, I did that reading recently, and it's atrocious what they've done. It's akin to, Michael Jackson's doctor, completely out of integrity and not doing the best. And they did it for money, of course. So, anyway, so the challenge to his health and his well-being, this has to do with the lungs. This has to do with the darkness, the confusion of the caretaker, and the either misdiagnosis or just wrong diagnosis, because a fox card is all, just the key word for fox card in the Lenormand is just wrong. Something's wrong. Unless it's a specialist. But his doctors, they channel little negative specialists because they've been bought and paid for. So they're not trustworthy. And so again, the challenge is clear communication. That's not going to happen. So he's not going to get whatever information he gets, whatever comes through his receptive, all his receptive sensory system on this day in the full moon. It's going to be lies, and it's going to create confusion. The news will create confusion for him. Okay, emotionally, with the ring card and on the emotional body, this is the card of, in the Lenormand, it's the card of the lymphatic system. And on an emotional level, he wants commitments from people. This is that place where he demands loyalty. And then mentally, he's thinking about some woman. So this may very well be Melania. And she may have just maybe she's had it. Interesting. I would think this is Melania. If it's not Melania, I think it's Melania, and I think the messages she's getting from him are making him very nervous. Okay, his destiny that's hanging over him. Well, with the Clover card, it's just some little small little bit of good fortune, but it's also risky. It can be, the meaning of the card can be to go ahead, take a risk, because it's usually good luck. But this, I don't think his judgment is no. His judgment is awful. So let's keep going. What he's doing, he's spreading. He's doing his super spreader thing that he always does. And the future for him. Well, I'm going to have to draw some more cards because this is the card for him. Maybe it's that he's just totally upside down financially. Let me use the Kipper here and see what I can get. Okay, so his body, his challenges, his emotional body, mental body, okay, the karma that's hanging over him. Ooh. So I'm going to change my meaning of this and call it 2 court cases, or a couple of risky court cases, because we have the court official card here. So that's interesting. Okay. What he's going to be doing, or especially as far as how that full moon affects him. He's going to be doing everything he can to get his honor back. Now, just because this is the card, it's called high honors. It doesn't mean that a person, when they get this card, doesn't mean they have high honors. It just means that this has everything to do with their self-esteem and their reputation. With the stars card, there's something that's revealed, on a widespread level, probably the internet, because that news that comes out. Okay, so his future. Yeah, so it's going to cause him to just keep thinking about something, maybe obsessively. Oh, and then want the change. Okay. And who he wants to help him make this change has to do with some attorney or some legal person. Yeah, which goes up with what's going on up there. It could also be this military person, can also be a doctor. It can also be the military. But it really, most of all, it has to do with rules and regulations that are very strict. And they're just, those are the laws. They're just the laws. It can also have to do, just look at the sword here, and it is a stop card. So it could also have to do with a battle. So I'm thinking that it causes the full moon, this full moon in Taurus, because it's conjunct Uranus, and because, remember, Taurus is all about safety, and we're in the coronavirus with no protection, and he knew about it. He was briefed on it on January 28th. And there are tapes, there's many tapes that Bob Woodward had on him, and it was March, I think March something that, yeah, Bob Woodward, I believe, taped him in March, saying that he always wanted to play it down because he didn't want people to panic. Well, that's a lie. He just didn't want it, he didn't want the coronavirus to affect him financially, because that's what it's all about for him. So in the future, he's going to be upside down financially because he can't hold on to this facade anymore. That's what this is. And, of course, with the Lenormand, you don't read reversals, but I'm putting this upside down because he will be upside down financially. And there's some laws that are coming in to help make that change. And he can't stop thinking about it obsessively. It's driving him nuts. And it's driving him nuts because he can't get these people on board with him to make him do what he wants anymore. And so that affects, his reputation. So he's got this like high expectation of the support, this Queen of Pentacles underneath. He has this high expectation of Melania and Ivanka and, the feminine and all the practical ways that the feminine can support him. And he's not getting it. He's not getting it, and he's also not getting the communication that he wants from some older person who's been very, well, someone his age or younger. It can be, anybody. Or it could just be, anybody who is supportive, male or female. Because this doesn't always have to be a person here. It's very possible that it's just, a positive, supportive person, and somebody maybe that was, influential, and maybe someone that doesn't like the news that has come in. Yeah, because this is a terrible card here. And then emotionally, I think he just kind of wants to be home, and he wants his safety and his solid, like foundation. And he's trying to get somebody, because we have too many female cards in here. I mean, I really think it is Melania, and he's trying to get some new commitment from her. And I don't think she's having it. And on a mental level, he's just trying to get her to connect with him, in their home. This could be back at the White House, or this is very possible that it's Mar-a-Lago, or, one of their other places that they stay all the time. I don't know where he'll be, on that Saturday. So, but anyway, this is a really important card here. I mean, you have to look at the commonalities here, with the Queen of Swords being a court, legal, and then we have the court official here. And this could be something to do with all the opportunistic ways that he has operated. He's taken such advantage of and also on a coronavirus level, he's been way too risky. So there's that. But this court official, I mean, that's another attorney. That brings in that element of, another challenging legal problem. And then also the thing is that, so besides, well, yeah, because this card connects. These all connect. These two connect. And this one connects. His reputation connects to whatever legal issues are going on. Yeah, and then that's a stop card. So, but he, he's going to be upside down. I think I've covered all of that well enough. But to have these two cards in a reading together that's pretty strong. But to have the Queen of Swords and the Court Official, I think it's two lawsuits that come out that are damaging to him. And he doesn't really have the defense that he needs because it's something surprising. Because, I mean, this full moon that he has going on, conjunct Uranus, of course, that's something very surprising. When it's in Uranus, it's surprising, but it brings out the truth and enlightenment, things that we need to know. And it can be shocking, but this all happens in his 9th house, which is courts of law and foreign, all foreign interests. And transiting Mars is in his 9th house as well right now, which has to do with, him having the truth, something, the energy's there to purge something outward, out into the open. And he has Neptune in his 8th house, which has to do with dissolving all the powerful support that he's had in the past, which is just newly moved into, into play there. Yeah, and his, natally he has Chiron in Libra conjunct Jupiter, so that is one of those, Chiron can represent your deepest wounding, and it can also be your deepest gifts if you go through the wounding. But in Libra, with their especially conjunct Jupiter, that has to do with his, dependence on. He's emotionally dependent on relationships, even though he would never, let you know that. He's very, very emotionally dependent. The gift, if any of you do have Chiron in Libra, is that you can be a beautiful bridge to the spiritual realm within relationship, and you can connect deeply with others. But that's not him. That's not him at all. All of his relationships are transactional, and I think that Melania is tired of that. And at the very least, if this isn't a court, like courts of law, this could be, divorce attorney, court of law type of thing. This could be the day that Melania, says, I'm done, I've had it, I can't do it anymore. There's that possibility. Or she'll try to negotiate something bigger to stay. There's that, maybe, because that's how she rolls. But, you can just see with the image of the card, it's not fun. The person's like, oh my God, why am I having to go through this? It's like that. Just look at this person, male or female, doesn't matter. And somebody's calling him out on something. Or this is a person going through something challenging, and this is in his karmic position, right? This is hanging over him, because of the law of cause and effect. This is hanging over him, and it is affecting his body. And what this is all about is face-to-face with all your actions and deeds of the past, or something, at least one of those, 2 or 3 of those things I'm thinking is coming up to deal with. So it just feels to me like there's something coming through on a court level. I believe. I think I think that we can look forward to something coming out legally about him. Something's finally released, one of those sealed documents, or sealed subpoenas, or sealed whatever, something probably is finally out. And if it's not on the full moon, it could be a day before, a couple days after, or it could just trigger something that is released, you know, in the weeks to come. Because full moons are culminations, and this full moon, if you add up, you know, on a numerology level, numerically, you add up 10, 31, 20, 20, and then you reduce it down, well, you get a 9. It adds up to a 9, and that is completion, not complete, but a real culmination. So it's like a double whammy of the culmination of a full moon. So there's that. So I think we can look forward to something legally coming out about him. That's my take on it anyway. So, okay, well, I think I'm done with this, and I'm going to move on and do the same for Mitch McConnell. Okay, thank you. Bye.